Are you dreaming of living abroad without spending too much? Or maybe you're on the hunt for the perfect travel destination where safety is a priority, but your wallet won't take a hit? Well, you're in luck. In today's video, we're diving into the 20 cheapest and safest countries in the world for 2025. Whether you're planning to relocate, retire, or simply explore, these countries offer the best of both worlds: affordable living and peace of mind. Stick around until the end to find out which country will make you question why you're still paying high rent and living in a stressful environment. Let's jump in. The 20th country on the list is Malaysia. Malaysia stands out as a top destination for those seeking an affordable yet high-quality lifestyle. Known for its stunning landscapes, from lush rainforests to beautiful beaches, Malaysia offers a diverse cultural experience at a fraction of the cost compared to Western countries. The cost of living in Malaysia is typically 50 to 60% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. For example, in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia's capital, you can rent a one-bedroom apartment in the city center for as low as $400 to $500 per month. Outside the city, rental prices can be even lower, making it an attractive option for expats or digital nomads. Dining out is also affordable, with street food and local restaurants offering meals for just a few dollars. Safety in Malaysia is a notable advantage for expatriates. With a safety index of 58 out of 100, the country is considered one of the safest in Southeast Asia. The government prioritizes public safety, and major cities like Kuala Lumpur, Penang, and Johor Bahru maintain a low crime rate. While petty crime can occasionally occur in busy areas, violent crime is rare. English is widely spoken, especially in urban centers and among younger generations, making communication easy for expatriates. Malaysia's well-developed infrastructure, excellent healthcare system, and warm, welcoming culture further enhance its appeal as a destination for those looking for an affordable and secure place to live. Whether you're seeking a vibrant city life or the serenity of small towns, Malaysia offers an ideal balance of affordability, safety, and convenience. Number 19. Armenia. Nestled between Europe and Asia, Armenia offers a rich history and a low cost of living, making it an increasingly popular destination for expatriates. The capital, Yerevan, is the heart of Armenian culture and commerce, providing a lively urban atmosphere that remains remarkably affordable. Compared to cities like New York or London, the cost of living in Armenia is about 60 to 70% lower. A one-bedroom apartment in the center of Yerevan can be rented for around $300 to $400 per month, and the overall expense for food, transportation, and utilities remains modest. For expats, Armenia presents an opportunity to live comfortably on a budget while enjoying the country's distinct cultural offerings. Armenia's safety index stands at 58 out of 100, indicating a relatively peaceful environment for residents and visitors. While some regions may experience geopolitical tensions, particularly with neighboring countries, Yerevan and other major cities are considered safe for expatriates. English is spoken by about 35% of the population, particularly in urban areas and among the younger generation, making it relatively easy for expats to adapt to daily life. Number 18. Costa Rica. Costa Rica has become one of the most popular expat destinations in Central America, known for its high quality of life, political stability, and environmental sustainability. The cost of living in Costa Rica is about 50 to 60% lower than in major Western cities like New York or London. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in San Jose, the capital, typically ranges from $500 to $600 per month, and the cost of utilities, food, and transportation are similarly affordable. Expats can enjoy a comfortable lifestyle on a modest budget, with the country's focus on sustainable living and ecotourism further enhancing its appeal. With a safety index of 67 out of 100, Costa Rica ranks as one of the safest countries in Central America. It is well regarded for its low crime rate, particularly in popular tourist areas and expat communities. English is widely spoken in urban centers, with about 40% of the population proficient in the language, making it easy for expatriates to navigate daily life. Costa Rica's friendly and laid-back atmosphere, combined with its natural beauty and affordable living costs, makes it an ideal location for those seeking to live abroad while maintaining a high standard of living at at a fraction of the cost found in the US or UK. Number 17. Serbia. Serbia, located in the heart of Southeast Europe, offers an affordable living experience with costs that are approximately 60 to 70% lower than those in the United States or the United Kingdom. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Belgrade, the capital, averages between $300 and $400 per month, which is significantly lower than in major Western cities. Furthermore, Serbia's overall cost of living, encompassing food, utilities, and transportation, remains remarkably low. Daily expenses for an individual can be comfortably managed on a budget far lower than that of Western countries, making it an attractive destination for expatriates seeking both affordability and a rich cultural experience. Healthcare in Serbia is of good quality, with both public and private healthcare systems available. While the public healthcare system is affordable and provides essential services at a low cost, many expatriates and travelers prefer private healthcare facilities for quicker service and higher standards of care. The safety index in Serbia stands at 57 out of 100, reflecting moderate safety levels. While the country is generally safe, it is advisable for travelers to exercise caution in certain areas. English proficiency is fairly widespread, especially in urban areas and among younger generations, with approximately 40% of the population able to communicate effectively in English. Number 16. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, an island nation in South Asia, provides an extraordinarily low cost of living, with expenses generally running 70 to 80% lower than in the US or UK. Rent in Colombo, the capital, for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $250 to $300 per month, far more affordable than in major Western cities. Living costs for food, utilities, and transportation are similarly low, with a typical meal in a local restaurant costing around $3 to $5. This affordability, combined with the country's natural beauty, makes Sri Lanka an appealing destination for budget-conscious travelers and expatriates. The quality of healthcare in Sri Lanka is generally good, especially in urban areas. Sri Lanka's safety index is 55 out of 100, indicating that the country is relatively safe, though certain areas may be less secure due to political or civil unrest. English is widely spoken in urban areas and among the educated population, with about 30% of the population proficient in the language, making it relatively easy for foreigners to navigate daily life. Number 15. Albania. Albania, situated in the Balkans, offers a highly affordable cost of living, generally 60 to 70% lower than in the US or UK. The cost of housing in Albania is especially attractive, with one-bedroom apartments in the capital, Tirana, available for around $250 to $300 per month. Property prices are similarly low, making Albania an appealing destination for those looking to live in Europe at a fraction of the cost. The affordability extends to everyday expenses, such as food and transportation, which are significantly cheaper than in Western countries. Healthcare in Albania is relatively good, although public healthcare services can be basic. Many expatriates opt for private healthcare, which is both affordable and of decent quality. Albania's safety index is 56 out of 100, which places it at a moderate level of safety. While the country generally enjoys a calm atmosphere, travelers are advised to exercise caution in more remote areas. English is widely understood in Tirana and other major cities, with around 30% of the population speaking English, making it easier for expatriates and tourists to communicate. Number 14. Poland. Poland, a member of the European Union, combines affordable living with modern amenities, making it an attractive option for expatriates and travelers. The cost of living in Poland is approximately 50 to 60% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. In Warsaw, the capital, rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center generally averages around $400 to $500 per month. The affordability of housing extends to utilities and daily expenses, which remain well below Western standards. In addition, food and transportation are reasonably priced, with local meals costing as little as $5 to $7. Poland's healthcare system is of high quality, with both public and private healthcare options available. Poland's safety index is 68 out of 100, ranking it as one of the safest countries in Central Europe. The country's low crime rate and stable political environment contribute to its reputation as a secure destination. English proficiency is quite high in Poland, with approximately 40 to 45% of the population speaking English, especially in larger cities like Warsaw, Krakow, and Wrocław, making it easy for foreigners to adapt to life in the country. Number 13. Cambodia. Cambodia is one of the most affordable countries in Southeast Asia, with the overall cost of living running 70 to 80% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. Rent in Phnom Penh, the capital, is incredibly affordable, with a one-bedroom apartment typically costing around $200 to $300 per month. This affordability extends to all aspects of life, including food and transportation, making Cambodia an ideal destination for budget-conscious travelers. For example, a typical meal in a local restaurant can cost as little as $3 to $5, offering exceptional value compared to Western standards. Healthcare in Cambodia is available at both public and private facilities, though the quality can vary significantly. While public healthcare is affordable, many expatriates opt for private healthcare, which is inexpensive and provides a higher standard of service. Cambodia's safety index stands at 52 out of 100, indicating moderate safety. The country is relatively safe in major cities and tourist destinations, but travelers are advised to remain vigilant in less developed areas. English is spoken by approximately 20 to 25% of the population, particularly in urban centers and areas popular with tourists, making it relatively easy for expatriates to get by. Number 12. Bulgaria. Bulgaria, located in southeastern Europe, offers an exceptionally affordable cost of living, with expenses running 60 to 70% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. In Sofia, the capital, rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $300 to $400 per month, which is significantly lower than rent in major Western cities like London or New York. The overall cost of food, utilities, and transportation is similarly inexpensive. A typical meal at a local restaurant costs between $5 and $10, providing great value for money compared to Western countries. Healthcare in Bulgaria is accessible and affordable, with a well-established public healthcare system that offers essential services at low costs. Bulgaria's safety index is 58 out of 100, indicating moderate safety. While major cities like Sofia and Plovdiv are relatively safe, travelers are advised to remain cautious in certain areas. English is spoken by around 25 to 30% of the population, particularly in larger cities and tourist areas, making it relatively easy for expatriates and travelers to communicate. Number 11. India. India, with its rich cultural heritage and vast landscapes, offers an exceptionally low cost of living, with expenses running 75 to 80% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. Rent in major cities like New Delhi or Mumbai is highly affordable, with one-bedroom apartments available for as little as $200 to $300 per month, a stark contrast to the rent in London or New York. Daily expenses, such as food and transportation, are also significantly cheaper. A typical meal in a local restaurant costs as little as $3 to $5, providing incredible value for money. Healthcare in India is widely accessible and affordable, with both public and private healthcare systems available. A consultation with a private doctor typically costs between $15 to $25, making healthcare in India much more affordable than in Western countries. India's safety index is 47 out of 100, indicating that while most areas are relatively safe, there are regions where travelers should exercise caution. English is widely spoken, especially in major cities, where approximately 40 to 45% of the population is proficient in the language. This widespread English proficiency makes it relatively easy for expatriates and tourists to navigate life in India. Number 10. Morocco. Morocco, located in North Africa, is an affordable destination with living costs approximately 60 to 70% lower than those in the United States or the United Kingdom. Rent in cities like Marrakesh or Casablanca is particularly low, with a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically costing between $300 and $400 per month. Morocco's overall cost of living, including food, utilities, and transportation, is significantly lower than in Western countries. A meal in a mid-range restaurant costs between $6 to $10, making it an appealing choice for expatriates and tourists seeking value. Healthcare in Morocco is generally of good quality, particularly in urban areas. While the public healthcare system is affordable, many expatriates opt for private healthcare due to shorter wait times and higher standards of care. Morocco's safety index stands at 58 out of 100, indicating moderate safety. While major cities like Casablanca and Marrakesh are generally safe, travelers should exercise caution in certain rural areas and avoid risky situations. English is spoken by around 25% of the population, particularly in tourist areas and larger cities, making it relatively easy for expatriates to communicate and settle in Morocco. Number 9. Indonesia. Indonesia, an archipelago in Southeast Asia, is renowned for its affordability, with living costs running 70 to 80% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. In major cities like Jakarta or Bali, rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $300 to $500 per month. The cost of living is similarly low in terms of food, transportation, and utilities, making Indonesia an ideal destination for expatriates and digital nomads. Dining out is inexpensive, with meals in local restaurants costing around $4 to $7, which is considerably more affordable than dining in major Western cities. Healthcare in Indonesia is of variable quality depending on location, but private healthcare facilities, particularly in Jakarta and Bali, offer good services at reasonable prices. Indonesia's safety index is 56 out of 100, indicating moderate safety. While Indonesia is generally safe, travelers should exercise caution in more remote areas and avoid certain regions with higher political instability. English is spoken by approximately 25 to 30% of the population, especially in tourist areas, making it relatively easy for foreigners to adapt to life in Indonesia. Number 8. Philippines. The Philippines, consisting of over 7,000 islands, is one of the most affordable destinations in Southeast Asia, with living costs approximately 60 to 70% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. Rent in major cities such as Manila or Cebu typically averages between $300 and $400 per month for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center. The cost of food, utilities, and transportation is similarly inexpensive, with a typical meal in a local restaurant costing between $3 and $6, providing excellent value compared to Western prices. The safety index of the Philippines is 53 out of 100, reflecting moderate safety levels. While most tourist destinations are safe, travelers should exercise caution in certain regions due to local conflicts. English is widely spoken in the Philippines, with over 90% of the population proficient in the language, making it exceptionally easy for foreigners to navigate the country. Number 7. Georgia. Georgia, located at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, is an incredibly affordable country with a cost of living around 70 to 75% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. In the capital, Tbilisi, rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $200 to $300 per month. The overall cost of living, including food, utilities, and transportation, is also very low. A meal in a mid-range restaurant costs between $6 and $10, making Georgia a highly attractive option for budget-conscious expatriates and travelers. Healthcare in Georgia is affordable, and the quality is good in major cities, with a combination of public and private healthcare options. Many expatriates opt for private healthcare, as it provides a higher standard of care at reasonable prices. Georgia's safety index is 66 out of 100, indicating a relatively high level of safety. While Tbilisi and other urban areas are considered safe, travelers should exercise caution in more remote regions due to occasional political instability. English is spoken by around 30% of the population, especially in urban areas and among the younger generation, ensuring that communication is manageable for expatriates. Number 6. Colombia. Colombia, a vibrant country in South America, offers an affordable cost of living, running 60 to 70% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. In cities like Bogota or Medellin, rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically costs between $300 and $400 per month, which is considerably more affordable than rent in major Western cities. The overall cost of living, including food, utilities, and transportation, is similarly low. A meal in a mid-range restaurant usually costs between $7 and $10, providing excellent value compared to Western standards. Healthcare in Colombia is well regarded for its affordability and quality. The public healthcare system is accessible, and many expatriates opt for private healthcare for quicker service and higher standards. Colombia's safety index is 53 out of 100, reflecting moderate safety levels. While major cities and tourist areas are generally safe, certain regions, especially in the countryside, may require extra caution due to the presence of criminal organizations. Approximately 30% of Colombians speak English, with higher levels of fluency in urban areas, particularly among younger generations and professionals. Number 5. Thailand. Thailand, often regarded as one of the most popular destinations in Southeast Asia, offers a cost of living that is approximately 70 to 80% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. Rent in cities like Bangkok or Chiang Mai is remarkably affordable, with a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically costing between $300 and $500 per month. The overall cost of living, including food, transportation, and utilities, is significantly cheaper than in major Western cities. A typical meal in a local restaurant costs around $4 to $7, making Thailand a top choice for expatriates and travelers seeking an affordable lifestyle. Healthcare in Thailand is of high quality, with both public and private healthcare facilities offering comprehensive services. Thailand's safety index is 64 out of 100, indicating a relatively high level of safety. While the country is generally secure, travelers should exercise caution in some areas, particularly in the southern regions. English is widely spoken in tourist areas and among the younger population, with approximately 30 to 35% of the population proficient in the language, making it easy for expatriates to navigate daily life in Thailand. Number 4. Spain. Spain, located in southern Europe, is a country that offers a balance of rich culture, beautiful landscapes, and a relatively low cost of living compared to the United States or the United Kingdom. The overall cost of living in Spain is around 40 to 50% lower than in major cities in the US or UK. In cities like Madrid or Barcelona, rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically costs between $600 and $800 per month, which is significantly more affordable than living in major cities like London or New York. Everyday expenses, such as food and transportation, are also much cheaper, with a meal in a mid-range restaurant typically costing between $10 and $15. Healthcare in Spain is widely regarded as one of the best in Europe, with a universal public healthcare system that is accessible to residents at very low costs. Spain ranks high in terms of safety with a safety index of 62 out of 100, reflecting a stable environment with low crime rates. English is spoken by around 20 to 25% of the population, with higher proficiency in tourist areas and among younger generations, making it manageable for expatriates to live and work in Spain. Number 3. Portugal. Portugal, known for its scenic landscapes, rich history, and Mediterranean climate, offers a relatively affordable cost of living. The overall cost of living in Portugal is 50 to 60% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. In Lisbon, the capital, rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $600 to $700 per month, which is much lower than rent in major cities like London or New York. Food, utilities, and transportation costs are also significantly cheaper, with dining out at a local restaurant costing between $8 and $12, providing excellent value for money. Portugal's healthcare system is of high quality, with both public and private healthcare options available. The public healthcare system is affordable, providing residents with access to essential medical services, while private healthcare offers higher quality services at a fraction of the cost in the US or UK. Portugal's safety index stands at 58 out of 100, indicating that it is a relatively safe country with a low crime rate. English is spoken by around 30% of the population, particularly in larger cities and tourist areas, making it easy for expatriates and travelers to communicate in Portugal. Number 2. Vietnam. Vietnam, a rapidly developing country in Southeast Asia, is known for its affordability, with living costs running 60 to 70% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. In major cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $200 to $400 per month, making it a highly affordable destination for expatriates. Food and transportation are also inexpensive, with a typical meal in a local restaurant costing between $3 and $6, which is far lower than in the US or UK. Healthcare in Vietnam is improving, particularly in urban areas, with both public and private healthcare systems offering affordable services. While public healthcare is basic, many expatriates opt for private healthcare, which provides higher standards of service at affordable prices. Vietnam's safety index stands at 55 out of 100, indicating moderate safety. While the country is generally safe for tourists and expatriates, there are areas where caution should be exercised, particularly in more remote regions. Approximately 10 to 15% of the population speaks English, with higher proficiency in major cities and tourist areas, ensuring that communication remains manageable for foreigners. Topping the list is Laos. Laos, a landlocked country in Southeast Asia, is one of the most affordable destinations in the region, with costs approximately 70 to 80% lower than in the United States or the United Kingdom. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Vientiane, the capital, typically costs around $200 to $300 per month, making it one of the most budget-friendly locations for expatriates in Southeast Asia. The overall cost of living, including food, utilities, and transportation, is significantly lower compared to the US or UK. Dining out in Laos is inexpensive, with a meal at a local restaurant costing between $3 and $5, providing excellent value for money. Healthcare in Laos is improving but remains less developed than in other countries in the region. While public healthcare is affordable, many expatriates opt for private healthcare, which is available in major cities like Vientiane. Laos's safety index stands at 53 out of 100, reflecting moderate safety levels. While the country is generally peaceful, certain regions may require extra caution due to its developing infrastructure and healthcare system. English is spoken by approximately 15 to 20% of the population, particularly in tourist areas and among younger people, making it relatively easy for expatriates to communicate in Laos. Give us a thumbs up if you found this video useful and subscribe to PlacePicks for more.